What's up guys, Jake SLEASMAN, Blue Collar Outdoors, and today we're breaking out the big gun at 40 yards. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so last year I patterned the Stevens 301 turkey. As you can see, unloaded firearm. I patterned this with the factory choke with Federal TSS and Apex Ninjas at 20 and 40 yards. Now, one thing to keep in mind, I see this all the time. The QC regarding the ID dimension of these factory chokes is not very good. They do vary when you buy your 301. That's why some people, their factory chokes shoot lights out to 40, and others, they don't shoot as good at 25 yards as some with 40. It's the ID dimension, that constriction in the choke, it does vary. I haven't measured this one, but I will be measuring it shortly as we get tested more to see where mine's at, because mine does shoot good to 40. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna shoot this gun at 40 yards out of the factory choke that came with the gun, and then I'm gonna shoot side by side my patternmaster Code Black Turkey. This is a 383 constriction. This thing has been shooting all these 410 loads lights out, man, I tell you. But I want to see, because my factory choke does shoot good at 40, I want to see how they actually compare side by side with the same load, same gun at 40 yards. Now, it is 45 degrees out, so the patterns will only get better, but this will be a good starting point to test this, because what I'm going to start doing is putting all these 410 loads through the factory choke and the Code Black Turkey side by side. So we can really see if you need to invest and get the aftermarket choke, or if my factory full would do the job. Now, once again, the results are going to vary greatly depending on your ID constriction in your factory choke. But out of my setup, we can see how they compare side by side. So I think it'll be a fun test. We're going to do a lot more of these factory versus aftermarket chokes on the channel. The load we're going to shoot today is the Apex Ninjas. This is what I found to shoot the best out of my 301. This is a 3-inch, 7/8 ounce. It's traveling 1060 feet per second. And this is 9.5 shot, which I will say, this is not legal in New York. This is not what I take in the woods. We actually get a custom 8-shot 410 load so we can hunt with it. So guys, before you buy TSS, I can't stress this enough. Check your local state and game laws to make sure you can shoot this smallest shot. Now, I know we should be legally allowed to shoot this. I am starting a petition here in New York to bring the science of why TSS should be allowed to be shot in the smaller sizes, just based on the density difference being 18.1 grams per cc versus lead being 11.1. So there's a huge difference. That's why we can shoot these small shot and still hit harder than lead. It's really something what this TSS can do in a 410. So what we're gonna do, we got the lead sled out here to handle the massive recoil of this firearm. We're gonna shoot the left target with the stock choke with the Apex Ninjas. We'll take the choke out, put the Code Black Turkey in, shoot the right target, same load. We have a light crosswind, like I said, 45 degrees, so these patterns may be more open than what we're used to seeing. I haven't shot the 410 under 50, 60 degrees yet, so it will change. It'll get better. But enough talking. Let's see how the factory full stacks up to the patternmaster Code Black Turkey. And once again, I will be measuring the ID constriction of this choke so I can specify in every video. I just haven't done that yet, and I don't want to mislead anyone with false information. So let's get to it. Okay, so first up, we got the Ninjas 9.5. Once again, this is a 7/8 ounce payload, 3-inch, traveling at 1060 feet per second. Out of the Stevens 301 turkey. We have the factory choke that came with the firearm. 40 yards, left target. Let's see how it does in this crosswind. I'm gonna try to wait for the wind to die before I shoot so we can have a real good honest test. That's smoked turkey. It's crazy what these 410s can do, man. Ain't it crazy what you can do with a 410 now with TSS? Once again, that was the factory full Apex Ninjas. Oh, this little guy. 40 yards is lights out. So cleared firearm. I will say this, I don't like how these threads fit from the stock choke in the gun. It's almost really tight, and I do have oil on the chokes. It's like a really snug fit, and I don't know if I really like that. It's almost like the pitch is off a little bit. But let's get the Code Black Turkey out, because the threads with the Code Black Turkey, they screw in a lot easier. It's like it's better. The pitch is right for the barrel. As you can see, I mean, it screws in a lot better. Okay, flush, and as always, little extra twist. As you can see, uniform fit. Let's get another Ninja out. Let's kill that right turkey. The only difference here, still Stevens 301 turkey, Apex 9.5 Ninjas. The only difference is the 383 Patternmaster Code Black Turkey aftermarket choke. That's the only difference here. 40 yards, we'll shoot the right target, and we'll see how they compare. I'm actually really eager to see this difference. I think I was a little left on that one. At least it looks like it from here. Maybe a touch left, but we'll be able to tell. It looks like I pulled the Patternmaster a touch left, but with the Sharpie and the backer, it won't matter. We'll be able to see how they look. I waited for about the same breeze for both, so there'd be no difference in wind direction or speed. Let's get down there. Let's check them out. It's crazy to me what you can do with a 410 now. Okay, so before we get into this, once again, weather. It's 45 degrees. We got a light crosswind. This is the Stevens 301 turkey, the factory choke, which I have to measure the ID. Mine shoots good at 40, but there's so much varied results because of the QC that ID constriction varies between factory chokes. So what we want to see, mine shoots good. I want to see side by side how they look with the same load. So let's look at the factory choke first at 40. So let's get to it. Okay, so you can see with the factory choke, this is pretty well centered. That's a dead turkey at 40 yards with a 410. Now as far as tightness, it's not the tightest pattern, but honestly, it all comes down to your preference. If your factory choke shoots good, I mean, this is a really good pattern out of a cheap gun with a cheap factory choke. That'll kill you turkeys with Apex at 40 yards. So if your factory choke shoots good, I'd really recommend testing it with the load you're going to shoot, see how you think, and then after, assess if you want to go aftermarket. Because, guys, I'm telling you right now, I may shoot for Patternmaster, but I'm telling you right now, this will kill turkeys at 40 yards. So if you got a good factory choke, hell, I'd almost run with it. Save the money, put it into TSS, kill more turkeys. Because look at this. This is a good core pattern all the way around. There is some more flyers in your 410, but this is 9.5 shot. So you get a little more flyers, but overall, you got a nice dense pattern. The core isn't very hot, but I mean, look at that. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the brain, 7, 8, 9. And those are partial. So 9 vital hits at 40 yards with a 410. That'll run you. I bought that gun for 150. So that setup, 150. To do that at 40 yards, don't overlook that factory choke. If your shoot's good, I'd test it with some loads and see how it performs for you before you even look at aftermarket. Well, let's step over to the Patternmaster and see if there is a difference. That is a 383. So let's see. There's a huge difference. All right, so I pulled. That little 410 doesn't fit too good in the lead sled, so it's hard to get it anchored good. The factory choke was dead money anchored. The Code Black Turkey I pulled, but you can see how hot of a core you have here. I mean, there is a ton of hits right in center mass. So overall, the core is a lot hotter with the Code Black Turkey. You have a really good pattern. There is some flyers over here, not many. Most of your pattern's pretty much right here. I mean, it is tight. There's a ton of hits right here. So if I'd done my job and put that centered, there ain't no turkey that's gonna walk through that. So there is a difference, but guys, if your factory choke shoots good, I mean, I guess it comes down to your personal preference. I would take this clearly all day because I want as many hits with a 410. Now, mind you, I'm probably not going to be shooting turkeys at 40 yards with my 410. I like working them tight. So with the Code Black Turkey, I better be on them because that's going to be tight. But that is a phenomenal pattern. And we do have an extra backer, and we have plenty of targets. Okay, so what we're going to do, seeing how I pulled the Code Black Turkey and the factory was centered, I'm going to take the backer off. We do have an extra. I'm going to put a new backer on, new target. I'm going to leave this alone and try my best to center it up. Like I said, that 410 being as little as it is in that lead sled, she's rocky. So I'm going to try to center it up, and then we'll look at it side by side. Because once again, I'm trying to see it true side to side comparison of what it can do. So let's get this ripped off. Let's get a new one on, new target, and then we'll come back to you guys. All right, guys, so round two. I apologize for pulling. As you can see here, this sways a little bit in the lead sled. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this gun in as tight as I can. And let me get her lined up here. Pull it in just like that so we have true and shoot. So let's get it on the target. 40 yards, take two. Patternmaster Code Black Turkey, Apex Ninjas, Stevens 301 Turkey. You good? All right, let's drop the hammer. Still looks like it shot a little left, but yeah. All right, let's go scribble. Okay, so must be with the reflex sight. I got a sight into the Code Black Turkey because it did shoot left again. And actually, the first shot through the Code Black Turkey was a lot tighter. Granted, I didn't clean the gun between, but I didn't between this and that either. So, but this is how the second shot came out. As you can see, it's still left. So I'm just gonna have to sight in with the Code Black Turkey. But that core is still hot. I mean, it's not as tight as the first shot, as you guys saw, but it still is a tight load. It's all right here. If this was over, she'd be smoked. I did get one in the brain, so there is some leeway, but like I said, we're going to be doing this test when it's warmer too. I'm going to make sure that it's dead money for both shots going forth with all the loads. I really want to test this factory versus Patternmaster with all the 410 loads to see where that difference is. But I'll jump behind. I guess I should have went with the first shot because it was tighter, but at least you can see the consistency in Apex Ninjas. They shoot good. There's not much difference between the shots. So once again, on your left is the factory choke out of the 301 Turkey. Now this is Apex Ninjas 9.5s. On your right is the Code Black Turkey 383. Same gun, same load. And as you can tell, both shots with the Code Black Turkey were to the left. But it's a hotter core. But really, guys, I got to be honest here. I mean, it comes down to what you want out of your setup. Both of these are going to kill turkeys. So if you want to run with the Ninjas 9.5 with a factory choke that comes with it, and your factory choke shoots good, it's going to kill you turkeys. If you want to spend the money and get the Code Black Turkey, whereas this kills the shot string, allowing it to have a harder hit and impact, and a hotter core consistently, this choke shoots every load good, the Code Black Turkey. But I'm eager to see how this testing between factory and Code Black Turkey with all these 410 loads. I'm curious to see how it performs throughout all the loads, especially with federal TSS. Because as you guys know, the Stevens 301 Turkey was designed to perform optimally factory with federal TSS. So that'll be a fun one to put side by side. But there you go, side by side. The first shot was tighter with the Code Black Turkey, but as you can see, you still have a hot core on the second shot. Well, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think and what you like. My factory choke shoots really good. Most, it's hit or miss. So test your factory choke before you buy an aftermarket, because you might have a gem or you might have a piece of trash. You just don't quite know. That's where the aftermarket is nice, because you know what you're getting. It's going to be consistent with every load. this may vary greatly. But once again, guys, we're going to be testing that 301 turkey of mine with the factory choke that I have and the Patternmaster Code Black turkey side by side with a lot of 410 loads at 40 yards. Now keep in mind, it is 45 degrees with a crosswind. These patterns will get better as it warms up, which kind of scares me with the Code Black turkey. I know how tight that thing shoots, as you guys seen it with all the loads last year. It shoots phenomenal. But that factory of mine, it shoots really good. And one test I really want to do, as you guys know, Moose has a 301 turkey as well. I'd like to shoot our factory chokes, both of them side by side at 40, and see where the difference is just among the two that we have, and really see that consistency difference. That's where an aftermarket choke is worth the money. But in this case, if you have a good factory choke for your 301, guys, you're gonna kill turkeys. I would put the money towards finding ammo. But if you want a more consistent, you know what you got, that's where the Code Black turkey is nice, or any aftermarket choke for that matter. I ain't changing. I'm shooting my 383 Code Black turkey. I've seen every load through it. It shoots them all amazing. It is a hotter core, but I do like that with the 410. I want to hit hard with a lot of pellets. If you haven't yet, make sure to smash that thumbs up button for your boys. We're out here testing all these loads. No bullshit. Honest. Let the performance talk. Reviews. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Blue Collar Outdoors. This is what we do. Like as I just said, we test everything with no outside influence. When we get down here and we're shooting, all that matters is what happens that day, that test, in those conditions. And we speculate on it. Here, either of these chokes are going to kill you turkeys, guys. If you have a good factory choke, the only thing I don't like is how much they vary among factory chokes. They're so inconsistent, it's scary. But with the Code Black turkey, you know what you're getting. You're going to kill turkeys with any load. Make sure to subscribe to see the further test between factory and aftermarket in the 301 with kicks. And we're working on getting a couple extra chokes for the 301 to do these factory to aftermarket with. It'd be a fun series. Make sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're getting into the Monday, Wednesday, Friday uploads. The last couple weeks we've been just hammering them out. It's 5 videos a week. This week and next week's looking like it's going to be the same thing. So hit the notification bell. This is Jake SLEASMAN, Blue Collar Outdoors. And as always, guys, we will catch you on the next one. Take it easy. What do you think?